Inside an operating system, the foundational software managing a computer's memory and hardware, thousands of simultaneous competing processes demand execution at exactly the same time. To prevent complete processor gridlock, the operating system discards first-come, first-served logic. Instead, it relies on a triage mechanism known as priority CPU scheduling. The core mechanic here is strictly mathematical. Every process entering the system is assigned a specific numerical value. That number represents its absolute importance to the machine's survival. For the specific mathematical models we will examine, the system operates on a single rule. A lower numerical value dictates a higher priority. Without this explicit hierarchy of importance, a computer would treat a catastrophic failure in its kernel, the core layer of the operating system, with the exact same urgency as a background application update. The system would process the update, ignore the failure, and collapse entirely. Assigning a priority number is only the first step. The architecture must also dictate exactly how the system enforces that rank. Engineers typically rely on two distinct methods. The first is non-preemptive scheduling. In this model, once a process is granted control of the central processing unit, or CPU, it maintains unbroken control until its task is 100% complete. The second method is preemptive scheduling. Here, the operating system is granted the authority to actively interrupt a running task and force it out of the processor if a more important task suddenly arrives. Non-preemptive scheduling guarantees operational continuity at the cost of responsiveness. Preemptive scheduling optimizes for immediate action at the risk of constant volatility. To determine which architecture yields a superior computing environment, we can run a single identical dataset through both algorithmic models. By calculating the exact turnaround time, the total time from arrival to completion, and the waiting time for each task, the resulting metrics will prove whether interrupting a CPU actually improves total system efficiency or if it merely redistributes the latency. This animated data table displays our experimental baseline. We have 4 processes, P1 through P4. Each has an arrival time, a specific burst time indicating how long the task takes to execute, and a priority rank. Looking at the execution timeline, we begin at time 0. Process 1 is immediately granted access to the CPU. At time 1, 2, and 3, processes P2, P3, and P4 arrive and enter the waiting queue. At exactly time 1, a critical conflict occurs. Process 2 arrives with a priority rank of 1. This severely outranks Process 1, which holds a priority of 2. However, under the strict rules of non-preemptive scheduling, Process 1 ignores the higher priority arrival entirely. It retains absolute control of the CPU until its burst naturally completes at time 5. At time 5, the CPU is finally free. The operating system scans the waiting queue and selects Process 2, because its priority of 1 outranks the others. Process 2 runs until time 8. Next in the hierarchy is Process 4, holding a priority of 3. It executes from time 8 to time 14. Finally, the lowest priority task, Process 3, runs from time 14 until total completion at time 22. Averaging the specific latency of all 4 tasks, this model produces an average waiting time of 5.25 milliseconds and an average turnaround time of 10.75. The non-preemptive model guarantees safe, orderly task completion. However, its mathematical rigidity causes it to ignore urgent alerts, sacrificing critical system responsiveness for stability. We will now test the exact same dataset, but this time the operating system is armed with the authority to preempt. We reset to time 0. Process 1 is still the only option, and it begins execution. The timeline stops at exactly time 1. Process 2 arrives, holding its superior priority rank. The system immediately initiates a preemption. The operating system forcibly evicts Process 1 from the CPU to make way for Process 2. Process 1 is stripped of its processing power and pushed back into the holding queue. It retains a system memory of its 4 remaining burst time units. Process 2 now commands the processor, executing entirely uninterrupted from time 1 to time 4. At time 4, the system reevaluates the queue. With Process 2 complete, Process 1 is once again the highest priority available. It resumes from exactly where it was severed, finishing at time 8. The remainder of the queue follows standard priority logic. Process 4 finishes at time 14, and Process 3 finishes at time 22. When we calculate the metrics for this run, the average waiting time drops to 5.0, and the average turnaround time drops to 10.5. By authorizing the system to forcefully eject active tasks, the preemptive model prioritizes immediate critical action, mathematically reducing overall latency across the entire system. But evaluating an algorithm purely by its system-wide averages obscures its failure states. We have to examine the extreme outliers. Look closely at this isolated data row for Process 3, the lowest priority task in the dataset. Due to the constant interruptions above it, its individual waiting times stretched to 12 entire milliseconds. Extrapolate that latency into a live environment. If an endless stream of Priority 1 and Priority 2 tasks continuously arrive in the queue, Process 3 will continually be bypassed. This architectural failure is called starvation. It occurs when low-priority processes are indefinitely blocked from the CPU by a constant influx of superior tasks. Starvation forces a process into permanent stasis. The system becomes so ruthlessly efficient at handling immediate crises that routine maintenance is permanently locked out. A perfectly strict mathematical priority system will eventually gridlock itself without dynamic, algorithmic intervention to clear out old data. To prevent this, computer scientists deploy an engineering countermeasure known as aging. Aging forces the operating system to gradually increase the priority value of a process the longer it languishes in the waiting queue. A low-tier task slowly graduates to a high-tier task based purely on how long it has been ignored. Dynamic state awareness is mandatory. A system must be programmed to bend its own mathematical rules, otherwise low-tier processes are effectively erased from existence. This comparison matrix maps how these two algorithmic models dictate the physical design of modern computing infrastructure. The non-preemptive profile utilizes fixed CPU control. This results in very low architectural complexity and carries zero risk of process starvation, though it yields poor immediate response times. This makes non-preemptive scheduling ideal for large-scale batch processing environments, like overnight data backups or scientific rendering, where predictable, uninterrupted task completion is far more valuable than millisecond responsiveness. The preemptive profile offers dynamic CPU control and vastly superior response times. However, it suffers from high computational complexity and the constant processing overhead of context switching. Context switching is the resource-heavy process of actively storing the state of an evicted process so it can be safely resumed later. Because it guarantees immediate execution for top-tier tasks, preemptive scheduling is deployed in OS kernels, embedded systems, and life support architecture, where a failure to immediately react to an interrupt is non-negotiable. Selecting an algorithmic scheduler is not about finding a flawless system. It is entirely an exercise in choosing which specific operational friction an environment can tolerate. Absolute prioritization yields peak efficiency at the top of the queue, but it mathematically requires complex life support mechanics, like aging, to maintain the bottom of the queue. Engineers must either accept the slow, equitable march of non-preemption or build the aggressive, volatile triage of a preemptive machine. An operating system's true capacity is defined entirely by how it behaves in the fraction of a millisecond when a critical task demands the processor.